Morning. I know this looks like it's the snowy wastes of the Cairngorms or other places up north, but this is actually Fife, believe it or not. But just on the weekend, a few days ago, it just started snowing, and it only really stopped last night, and it was snowing for what, since Saturday night through to Tuesday night. And the result being, we've got over a foot of snow. It's West Lomond over there, looking the part. It's funny, at the weekend there was an initial dump of snow, and it seemed to be snowing for hours and hours and hours, but nothing was really getting deposited. It was all getting blown about, and it was drifting everywhere on very strong winds. But the wind died down yesterday, and it's meant that the steady fall of snow since then has now made up for all the losses, and everywhere that was wind scoured, everywhere that had the snow blown off it, has now got a covering as well. So we have this wonderful uniform covering of snow on the Lomond Hills. That's East Lomond there. So it's I can't describe the joy it gives me to be out in snow without having to go all the way up north to get conditions like this, because it's a real treat. It's just wonderful. But you can see the fences and the stiles. The stiles aren't really needed today. I can just pretty much just step over these, which is a joy for me, but you have to wonder what problems it creates for farmers who have to go and search for their missing livestock, their sheep that go wandering over fences they can't normally get over. I wouldn't normally come up this way, but because there's no stile. That's S-T-I-L-E. But because there's snow up to the top of the fence lines, you're almost free to go anywhere you like. Well, I'm on the path that links the lime kiln with the Ariel's car park on East Lomond. Usually very, very popular with dog walkers, cyclists. It's a big sort of Land Rover track with stone dikes either side. It's nice and quite flat, it makes for a nice walk. But there's no one been through here today. My footprints are the first ones. And I'm going to sound evil now by saying that that's one of the best things about when you get a big dump of snow like this, is that the roads do get shut off, the paths get shut off. It makes it more difficult for people to get places, and you get a bit more solitude, I suppose, and just that sense that it's wonderful being, knowing you're the first person through. And before long, there will be a big trench, a canyon carved by footprints once people clear roads and the cars can get up to the car parks. So you need to be quick about it if you want to see it in a pristine condition, and get out while you can. Take advantage of deep snow. Oh, isn't that a wonderful sound? Oh, I'm not great with tracks. Fox maybe? Or a wayward sheep? Now this is very interesting. This is just a tiny bulge on the hillside, only about 2 or 3 meters high. I'll give you a sense of scale by throwing the pole over there. See, it's not big, but that way is east, and that's where the wind's been coming from. And you can see how it is blowing all the snow into this bulge. Is it convex or concave? I can never remember. Yeah. So this is only on a tiny scale, but if you can imagine, this isn't a 3-metre knoll on a heath. Instead it's actually a mountain. The same process has happened, just at a much bigger scale. You get this long line of snow gets bulged out as the wind deposits it from that direction, brings it over here, and this just keeps going out and out and out and out, and that's a real risk, and the whole mountainsides become unstable. Those kinds of bulges are going to be everywhere today, and it doesn't have to be a big hill or a big mountain up north to pose a danger in terms of, you know, relatively minor avalanches, I suppose, but even a minor avalanche can cause you a lot of problems. So I think today, even on East Lomond, the hill up there, you're going to have to be careful, because we've had east winds for days and days and days, and the only place the snow's been going is the other side of that hill, and it's just been depositing it, and it's just been building up. And seeing as the snow that we had last week was getting crusty and had frozen and it was hard, it means that all that new snow that's been blown over there and has fallen last night is all sitting on this smooth surface, and it could go, you know. I don't know what the avalanche danger is per se, but it's certainly a risk, and certainly something you need to know about. In fact, just to illustrate the point that you don't have to go up into the hills to actually get avalanches, there was one of the worst avalanches in Britain was in East Sussex of all places. It's on the south coast. I can't remember which village it was. It was one of the towns on the south coast of England, had sea cliffs, and they had cornices just like this bulging out on the top from days and days of heavy snow, and I think it fell down on all the houses below. I think that's, if not it's certainly one of the deadliest avalanches in British history. Yeah, there's a few people headed up East Lomond now. I can see them heading up. It's funny when you think about avalanches, especially because they've been in the news recently. Very sad news from Glencoe. Even despite that, I can't help thinking that it won't really be in people's heads that sort of thing could happen here. I'm not sure you can ever really get that message out, that any slope with heavy snow on it is a possible danger. But it's just something in the back of your mind all the time, or at least it should be. But I suppose if we had snow like this every year, and it's stuck around for a long time, it might be acknowledged as being more of a danger. But because you don't get snow like this very often in lowland areas, you can understand why people wouldn't think it's necessarily a risk. There we go, just to illustrate the point that you need to get out quick and make use of this wonderful, clean, untouched snow while you can. The council JCB is already here, clearing the road.